have questions, we do have mics. Please raise your hand and we'll hand you the mic. We're going to let Coach Howland start us with a quick opening statement.
Not that quick. Well, thanks all of you for being here. I want to start off by thanking Chancellor Block, Chancellor Abrams, and Chancellor Carnesal, who was the chancellor who hired me 10 years ago, for giving me the extraordinary opportunity to work and represent the greatest university in the world. I'm so proud to have been a part of the Bruin family and feel honored and privileged to have been at UCLA these past 10 years. I'm especially thankful to Dan Guerrero, who hired me and who I've worked with closely throughout my 10 years. I can't thank him enough for the opportunity he gave me, and I enjoyed our working relationship, his support, and his regard for all that we've accomplished. I wish Dan continued success in sustaining the premier athletic program in the country. And during my tenure at UCLA, I've been so blessed to coach so many wonderful young men. I've been given the opportunity to work with some of the greatest players in the history of UCLA basketball. And I love them. I care about them very much, and care about their lives, and will be there for them the rest of my life. The pride of being a Bruin is something that will always be a part of who I am. And I've helped our players come to recognize the same feeling and pride of being a part of this great, historic tradition, UCLA basketball. This recognition has been very special to me, and I have always emphasized how incredible it is to be a part of this program and this university. One of my greatest joys as a coach, as I think any coach feels, is the relationship with your players and your former players. And being a part of their lives is something that's special and dear to me. And they're lifelong relationships. And I have players that I coached back when I started in this business 32 years ago. It's amazing. They're 49 years old now, and you know, I started really young, so I was very blessed. But such bonds are forged through tremendous effort, sacrifice, unselfishness, dedication. And I'm indebted to all the past and present players for all they've given to UCLA basketball and to me as their coach. During my time here, I've had an incredible good fortune to work with a number of great coaches, both past and present. You know, much of this program's success is a direct result of our coaches, and it's been an honor and a privilege to work with so many great assistant coaches. I am so proud of the jobs that Phil Matthews, Scott Garson, Corey McRae, Tyus Edney, Jason Ludwig have done here during their tenure, and really proud of what they accomplished this year. I don't think I can ever appropriately thank them for what they've done. I'm so proud of them and appreciate them so much, and their families for all they've sacrificed. I wish them nothing but the absolute best in their futures, and will help them, honestly, moving forward in any way possible. I want to continue to thank my basketball administrator, Doug Erickson, who's been with the program now 22 years, and his support and friendship over the past 10 years has been phenomenal. I also want to thank my secretary, Ariel Moyle, who has been nothing short of fantastic in her support of me, my family, and this program. There are so many incredible people on our staff who have helped our players develop. And I want to start by recognizing our academic coordinator, Kenny Donaldson, who has been stellar over the last 9 years. He's been a mentor, a guide, a role model for our basketball players. He has always helped them with the primary mission of being a student athlete here, and that's working towards and receiving one of the best educations in the country. And I'm especially proud that every player that we've had during my tenure here that stayed for 4 years has graduated. And really, really proud of that. During my time at UCLA, I've had the good fortune again to work with great trainers and some of the best medical staff in the country. The physical well-being of our players could not have been attended to anywhere by anyone better than here at UCLA. Our medical community is one of the best in the world. I think that's well recognized. And I want to personally thank Leif Morris, our trainer, Dr. Gerald Feinerman, our team physician, John DiFiore, Dr. John DiFiore, and Dr. Ray Padilla, our team dentist, for just the outstanding dedication and work to help our players. I also want to thank Brent Tanaka, our strength coach, who does a tremendous job with our players and really works hard to help them develop and reach their potential. I want to now recognize my wife, Kim, who's here today. I've been so blessed to have such a wonderful wife and family. I am really thankful for their boundless support during my tenure here at UCLA. My wife Kim's been an exceptional coach's wife, and my daughter Meredith, my son Adam, couldn't have two more wonderful children, and I'm really proud that both of my children earned degrees here at UCLA. That just makes me feel really, really good. It is not easy being the family of a coach or the wife of being a coach. And God has blessed me so much with their exceptional, strong, and loyal support. I'm very thankful to all the other people that make UCLA basketball what it is. Ticket office, the sports information, marketing, facilities, the development departments. There isn't enough time for me to thank everybody appropriately here today, or we'll never get out of here. But there are so many people involved in making this program successful, and I'm so appreciative of all of them and all their hard work and dedication these past 10 years. And I'm really proud of what we've accomplished during my 10 years here, on and off the floor. And I've watched our players grow from young men to young adults, and have been happy I could have been a part of their maturation process and development. And I appreciate all the fans and their support for me and my family. And I appreciate the media for their fairness in covering our program. And I am very appreciative of the relationships I have with many of you here in this room today. And I'm excited about the future. I'm excited about moving forward. I'm looking forward to the next chapter, and I'm excited about coaching again. I'm grateful for all the experiences and relationships, and feel they'll contribute toward my continuing growth and success as a coach. I look forward to my next opportunity, and I wish all of my UCLA family the very best going forward. Questions?
Coach, Rebecca Hall, UCLA. Considering what you had to work with in the Pac-12 tournament this year, your second leading scorer out with an injury starting the tournament, do you feel like you were given a fair shake?
You know, we had a great year this year. I'm so proud of our players and our coaches, to win the Pac-12 championship. And it was really a tough break for #1 Jordan Adams and #2 our team to lose arguably our best all-around player, second leading scorer. But that's part of this game. Injuries are a part of it, and it's unfortunate. But I'm really, really proud of all that was accomplished by this team this year, and feel very good about leaving here with a good nucleus. I want all those kids to continue to have great success here, and excited about their futures.
Coach, we know this is a very emotional day for you. How difficult was it for you to concentrate on coaching throughout the course of the year when all the stories around were talking about your future here as a head coach?
You know what, I've really become good at just focusing on what I'm doing. I mean, that's the honest truth, that when I would tell you that I'm just focused on coaching the team and helping them the best they can become, that's how I really felt. So, I'm just so thankful for all the support that I've received during my 10 years here, and really, really thankful for the opportunity again to represent such a great school, a great university, and an unbelievable program.
Do you think the ghost of John Wooden, as it were, is something that coaches should be aware of here? Because nationally there's these questions as to why would UCLA take this action against you with the success you've had in 10 years?
I'll tell you, Coach Wooden's success here is unprecedented. I said that 10 years ago, that there'll never be another Coach Wooden, and there's never going to be, another Kareem. I mean, it's one of a kind. I actually used Michael Jordan 10 years ago. Yeah, it's a place that has such high expectations, and that's understandable. And I'm proud of, the Final Fours that we went to. I'm proud of the Pac-12 championships we won. And I'm really proud of our players. I'm just so proud of the kids that have gone on and played professionally, the kids that are doing successful things in their business lives, and education and entertainment, so many different fields and areas out there that really, I will always feel great about my experience here at UCLA, and I'm just so lucky and feel so blessed.
And a number of coaching jobs are already opening up now. Your name is going to come up. What are your intentions for? Do you want to coach next season, or do you want to take a year off? This is all happening quickly, so I haven't really sat back and talked to Kim about that a whole lot. But I definitely want to coach. Whether that is going to happen this year or next year remains to be seen. But I'm very excited. I was excited about the job we did here this year, and feel like I have a lot to offer. And I'm just so proud of everything we've accomplished here, and feel so good about it. And I'm just really, really pleased.
As you leave 10 years of experience here at UCLA, what advice would you give the next guy coming along about dealing with the expectations that come with this job?
They're going to get a great coach. There'll be a great coach that will come in and replace me, and I just wish him the very best. I will always be proud and excited to have been a part of this history and tradition here. And, I think when you look at this brand new building that is in place now, and you look at a nice nucleus of kids and potentially a lot of good local kids to recruit here in the next 2 years and classes coming up, I think it's a great situation. So they're not going to have any problem finding a great coach to come in here and do a good job.
But what would you advise to him about dealing with the external pressures that come with this job?
They're not going to hire a rookie. I think whoever they hire will be well-versed in that.
Then you didn't have to come here today. Why did you want to?
Oh, I've always felt like I've been very forward and honest, and I wanted to come here to thank everyone for my opportunity, as I stated, from chancellors and Dan and everyone who's been a part of my life during my tenure here as a coach, and I'll always be so thankful and appreciative of everyone for everything they've done.
And just a follow-up, were you able to talk to the players? Had a chance to?
We're on spring break right now, so I've met with some of them and reached out to all of them on the phone, talked to a few of them. And, I'm encouraging them all to continue to work hard and to develop. I mean, I had long conversations with a few of them, and I will in moving forward. I'm nothing but supportive of these kids, their futures here at UCLA, and really want to be there for them any way I can until otherwise.
Coach, how much do you think some of your recruiting missteps sort of led to this happening?
That's not for me to answer. You'd have to talk to the university.
Coach, considering you coming off a conference championship, what type of precedent do you think this sets for all coaches, thinking about this position?
That's something that you guys can answer better than me. I'm just excited about everything that has happened during my tenure here. I feel really good about it. I'm really proud of it, and I'm really excited about the future and looking forward to what comes next in our lives. I mean, so many great things have happened during my life here. Most recently, in the last year, we welcomed a grandson into the world here, and that's just been such a great joy to have my wife Kim be watching him 2-3 days a week over at our house, and I just feel very, very fortunate and blessed.
Can you go into some of the duties outside of coaching that come with a high-profile job like this?
I don't understand your question. You want me to give you my past job description?
No, well, people say a job like this, a job like Kentucky is so much more than basketball. You got to go out, you got to.
There's a lot of different parts. It's very complex, and there's a lot that goes into it, no question. And I feel like I'm better for the experience. I mean, there's no question that in my next job, I will have benefited so much from this opportunity that it's going to really help me do better. And it's all about the same thing I preach to my players, about improving, about getting better. I thought this year we really did a great job offensively pushing the ball and leading the league in scoring. And it's always about continuing to evolve.
Two
Go ahead,
two parts. The first one, best moment of the last 10 years, and then your toughest moment of the last 10 years.
There's been so many great moments. I don't know if there's the best, but I guess that if I was sitting here, I would say the Gonzaga win is probably the one that would come to mind first. Being down 17-10 to go, what ended up being a national championship final game before losing to Florida. And then as a coach, you always remember the losses way better than you do the wins. So that would be you have to get me after it and we can talk for an hour.
And then how long did it take you, I know you prepared that because you wanted to thank certain amount of people, how long did that take you? Was that an emotional?
Well, it took me, I was working on it yesterday and today, and I could have got along longer. There's so many people to thank. This is, saying goodbye. So I'm just so appreciative of everyone.
Ben, your success obviously speaks for itself and what you accomplished here, going to the Final Fours 3 times, and obviously winning the conference championship. As you talk about the wife and being having grandkids now, do you apply some of the, for lack of a better word, hard knocks lessons of life that you learned here being fired with that much success to the next job that's offered to you, and potentially it might be on the East Coast?
So I'm trying to understand that.
What will you apply from what you learned here being fired in this situation to evaluating what job you'll take next?
You know what, I mean, I'm hopeful that I'll have an opportunity to get another good job, and that, is something that I'd be very excited about. I feel like I've got a lot to offer. That being said, it's everything. It's all encompassing what you learn on the job. And this is a historic unbelievable place to represent. I mean, you bring up Coach Wood. It was so great to have a relationship. I mean, I had a relationship with John Wood, and I spoke at his memorial service right out there on that floor. And I have things that I think about that I've been a part of because I was the head coach at UCLA. That I will always cherish. And I think it's well documented. I grew up loving this program as a kid. This was a dream for me coming true to be here. I have a lot of opportunities in the past to go other places and make a lot more guaranteed money and never even thought about it. I mean, I always wanted to be here. And so that being said, I'm just so appreciative of the 10 years that I was able to be here with you all and lead this program.
I think we appreciate it as well. I know it's just happening now. Do you feel because of that, and it is well documented, your love of this university, that you need a little time off before you make a decision, or do you want to get right back into coaching?
That is too early to say. Could be next week, could be next year. I don't know.
Time for 2 more questions. In the back there, go ahead.
Sorry, I don't know if this is working, but...
Would you have a rental problem in the room here, Alex?
So much has been made about, this new facility. Howland Pavilion is beautiful, it's going to sell out, and then we saw this season a lot of games, with a lot of empty seats. But then you talk to the fans and the alums, and they say, it's a 6 o'clock start time. How do we get through traffic to make it to these games? What do you have to say about those 6 o'clock start times? Did that play into it, do you think?
Well, I think that, first of all, Larry Scott has done such an unbelievably tremendous job leading this conference between the new TV contracts. I mean, now that we are on ESPN as a conference, as the Pac-12, it totally gets us to a new level as a conference in terms of visibility, in terms of credibility throughout the country. I mean, he's done a great job. One of the sidebars of that is you got to play some games that are geared towards East Coast audiences. And so 6 o'clock games here in Westwood are especially difficult, as we all know, because it can take an hour to get from Brentwood over here to school, as we've all experienced. It's a tough one, but you can also look at the revenue. I mean, all the Pac-12 teams, Pac-10 now, Pac-12, went from getting $6 million a year in TV revenue to $21 million for the next 11 years. So it's a no-brainer. I mean, costs continue to spiral, and we've got a lot of sports to support here. I mean, and this is the greatest athletic program in the country. And it's really special to be part of all those other coaches too. Like in my relationships, like Al Skates. I mean, that's one of my heroes. I mean, I think about Al, just what a run he had, 50 years. But so many great coaches in all the other sports that represent UCLA. It's fun to be a part of that family.
Ben, can you talk about your meeting with Dan yesterday? Was it an emotional one, and did you kind of come in knowing your fate before the meeting?
Yeah, well, my meeting with Dan I'll keep personal.
Ben, I recall when you came 10 years ago, you were, one of the things you really emphasized was you wanted to get some more money for your assistants than what assistants have been typically paid at UCLA. Do you have a sense of what's going to happen to your staff?
Well, I know that they've met, Dan has been meeting with my staff today and talking to them, and I haven't really got feedback from yet, but I'm going to help them all with their futures, and they're all great coaches. They're all going to do real well. I'm excited, and I hope that I, in some way, help them as they move forward in their careers.
All right, thank you, Coach. At this time, I'm going to open it up to one-on-one interviews.